Sierra Rose, Gregory Bowers, Dasha Antipova, Stephanie Jockman, Kevin Mahoney, Jack Dickens, Geraldine Paredes, Max Morinelli, Nicole Yakura. January 31st, 2017. Coming to you from the beautiful University of South Florida campus in Tampa, it's USF Housing Live! All right, here we are. Welcome everyone. Here we are, the season premiere of Season 3 of USF Housing Live. My name is Gregory Bowers with Housing and Residential Education here at the beautiful, amazing, and always sunny University of South Florida in Tampa. So we're going to have a whole bunch of Housing Live episodes this season. We have 14 half-hour pieces for you and a whole bunch of experts from all around campus. So quickly, let's do an introduction. We have Camila Azores as a resident assistant with Housing and Residential Education. Welcome, Camila.
Hi, thank you.
We have the incredible Dr. Andrew Goodrich from Athletics joining us tonight. Andrew, how you doing?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Well, welcome. And last but not least, we have Sandiana Merville from Housing and Residential Education. Not your first time on the show. Welcome, Sandiana.
Thank you very much.
Well, so happy to have y'all here. Want everyone to know watching, if you have a question, go ahead and just type it in the comments and they'll send it to me right here on the set. We'll answer you in real time. Our motto in Housing and Residential Education is best place to live, best place to work, and best place to learn. USF's a great place. I look forward to showing you around campus. Tons of videos coming your way. We're a huge D1 Research 1 institution, and we've got something for everyone, whatever you could need under the sun. In fact, I'm actually feeling a little parched. Oh, thanks USF, but not right now.
Okay.
Anyway, our first guest is going to be Camila. We're going to talk about being a resident assistant, learn a lot more about housing and residential education. But first, for those of you who want the full 1080p experience, you want to join us on YouTube, and you might want to sign in so you can ask us a question. We're going to roll a short video. More Housing Live coming your way right after this. If you have a YouTube account, please take this time to sign in so you can post questions during the show. Don't have a YouTube or Google account? Think again. Every USF student has a Google account. To get started, select Sign In. Next, enter your USF email address. Don't type in a password, just select Sign In. Then, you will be prompted with the USF NetID login screen. Type in your NetID and password, then click Sign In. Congratulations! You are now signed into YouTube with your Google account. Now that you are signed in, please make Rocky happy and subscribe. You can do this on our YouTube channel page or below the video player. All right, we are back, and our first guest is Camila Azores, our resident assistant. So, welcome, Camila.
Thank you.
So, tell us, what's a resident assistant do?
A resident assistant, we are trained in crisis management and how to deal with emergency situations. We live within the hall with our residents, so we try to make sure everybody's having a safe and welcoming experience. And it's also an educating experience for me and the residents.
So how about you tell us a little bit about yourself beyond the RA role?
Okay, well, I'm a third-year student. I'm double majoring in psychology and behavioral health care. I'm a resident assistant, and on top of that, I also do other leadership positions here at USF.
So thinking back to before you were here, what was it that pulled you into USF?
Well, I live pretty close, about 20 minutes down the road. So when I toured it in high school, I saw the beautiful campus, and I was really intrigued by the mix of modern architecture and the nature we have with all our trees and our lakes and the riverfront park. So I thought that was just beautiful. And while I was doing the tour, they always mentioned how many ways you can get involved, because there's like over 700 organizations and clubs and positions. So I felt like I could really make USF a personal experience for me.
And so that's a few organizations, I'll have to say, just a few.
Right.
Are there any organizations of which you're a member right now?
Yeah, so I just started my own organization called Undoc United, and I'm part of an organization called Eudaimonia, where we just try to do good things for the sake of doing good things. I worked within the Office of Orientation as an orientation team leader last summer. I work within the Center for Leadership and Civic Engagement on a Youth and Education Civic Board, and I'm a resident assistant.
Do you get at least 45 minutes of sleep every night?
Maybe 30, but
Oh, okay.
pretty close.
Well, as long as you're getting some sleep, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And so, can you tell us a little bit more about your freshman year? Where did you live?
I did live at home because I mentioned it was pretty close. Yeah, freshman year at home.
So you were at home, and did you ever come to live on campus?
I did. I moved on campus my sophomore year, and then now in my third year, I'm an RA. And it was honestly because of the convenience that I saw in my friends that lived on campus. It was so much easier to get involved, so much easier to make friends, so much more sleep without having to drive and commute,
Yep.
right, in the morning for those 8 a.m.s. So it just seemed like a better experience.
I imagine sleeping behind the wheel is probably frowned upon.
Yeah, it's not really legal.
So also not legal or safe.
Right.
Good. If it were legal, I would pray that don't do that. Can you tell us a little bit about social justice? It's something that's talked about a lot in higher education. What does that mean?
Social justice is incredibly important to me because diversity is one of my top values. And it's hard to describe because it's a huge term, but it's justice for everybody, as the name says. So it's being aware of our own privileges, our own oppressions, and everybody else's, and being able to contribute to an inclusive community where everybody, no matter what walk of life you come from, no matter what your exterior or interior characteristics are, you can still have every opportunity as everybody else.
Awesome. And so that's a big part of the RA role as well, right?
Definitely. It's always pushing for that inclusive community and making sure everyone feels welcome and everyone has a home here.
And so you mentioned some of the crisis response pieces of the RA role. We understand that's not the majority of what actually
Right.
is going on in the halls. And so for our viewers, our parents, our incoming students, what does that interaction look like? And so how might they reach out to their RA? What's the interaction going to be like between the resident assistant and those students living here?
I'm here as a resource for my residents. They can come to me with anything from, does this dress look good on me for the banquet I have to go to? Or can we go eat at one of the dining halls? I need to vent about my boy troubles. It's anything from something really small to something major. I need to talk about a problem I'm having. Which office can I go to? So it's pretty much being a friend, being a mentor, and connecting them to the proper resource on campus.
Excellent, thank you. Can you tell me, when we think about students considering different schools, it's early still, a lot of time to decide. And so, judging from your experience and friends and colleagues of yours, what type of student would enjoy being at USF?
Well, if you're the type of student that wants to get involved, that you want to challenge yourself and grow from who you were in high school, if you want to make friends, if you want to take so many different interesting classes and just really come out of your comfort zone, then this is the university for you. It's a university where you can mold it to be an experience for anybody.
And so now that you've had the experience, you've lived on campus, you've lived off, obviously you work for housing, and so we can't get around that. Obviously we're talking about housing,
Right.
but what reason might you want to share with those who aren't sure, they're on the fence? What would they get? Why would they want to be on campus if they got a house right down the street?
You get the full college experience. It's living where you're studying. It's being able to not have to cook all the time because you have all the dining halls. It's being able to meet your friends instantly. Like I mentioned, sleeping in is a great perk because you just walk 5 minutes to your class. It's so much more convenient, and it's so much easier to get involved because if you have a club meeting at 7 p.m., you don't have to drive back home and then drive back to campus. So yeah.
All right, excellent. Thank you so much for coming on the program. I
course.
hope we can have you back again.
Definitely, thank you. It's my pleasure.
Oh, excellent. So we are going to take a short break. We're going to be coming back with Dr. Andrew Goodrich from athletics. But first, we got a little cooking show for you. Let's see if you can cook up what Jack's got for you and some other videos. We'll be back with more USF Housing Live after this.
Hey Bowls, I'm Jack, and this is my cooking show. Tune into each episode and I'll teach you how to make a new, fresh and easy recipe. Today, I'm going to be making double chocolate peanut butter oat cookies. The great thing about these cookies is that you can easily make substitutions to make them accessible for anybody who may have a gluten or nut allergy. We're gonna start off by making a binder for these cookies using flaxseed meal and water. Now you just want to make sure that this flax is evenly distributed in the water, and you want to let it sit for a few minutes so that it binds together. Now we're going to mix in 1/4 cup of coconut oil, and then 1/4 cup of peanut butter. Now we need 1/3 cup each of natural cane sugar and brown sugar. Now we need 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Stir this till it's nice and smooth. Now we're gonna add 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda and 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder. Once again, mix all these ingredients together. Now for 1.5 cups of oat flour. Once again, you're gonna stir your ingredients together. If your dough's a little bit dry at this point, you'll add a little bit of your milk of choice to thin it out. It's all right to make messes sometimes. Now we're gonna chop up some chocolate chunks to throw in these cookies. Now it's time to put these puppies right in the oven. Don't actually put puppies in the oven. So there you have it, double chocolate peanut butter oat cookies. These things are gonna taste great, and I hope you're ready to run into the kitchen and make some for yourself.
My name is Justin Rodriguez. I'm a typical 18-year-old freshman. I basically chose USF because it offered the greatest balance between cost, proximity to home, great programs that are catered to what I need, and also because I felt like I was wanted. I want to be a neurologist, so I'm a biomed major. For the longest time I wanted to do engineering, and I basically just realized one day that I'm not great at math. And then on a personal note, one thing that pushed me in that direction, probably more than anything, was watching my parents and my grandmother go through her Alzheimer's. It was hard to go through, made my senior year really tough, and something that made me say to myself, I don't want to see anybody else have to go through that. USF was the only school I've ever toured, so coming here I was just like, I was amazed by it, to be honest, because it was my first time being at any college. From day one, I just really liked it, and I was like, I could see myself here. I really loved the MSC. I'm in there all the time. That was probably one of the biggest things that I saw as really attractive here on campus. The first time I went to the rec at orientation, I was like, yeah, I'm also going to be there a lot. I just really like how big it is. I like to go ahead and just walk around, take some time to relax. And I really like my classes too. All my professors are really good. When I checked out Magnolia, I was like, oh, this is where I need to be. I just have plenty of space. We have our own kitchen, living room. At the end of the day, I chose USF because I just really felt that it was home. I just feel good here.
All right, we are back. For those just joining us, I'm Gregory Bowers with Housing and Residential Education here at the University of South Florida in Tampa. We are the best place to live, best place to work, and the best place to learn. We're going to be asking some questions of Dr. Andrew Goodrich, but first I want to address a few of those live questions that have just come in. Champ would like to know, which housing plan is the least expensive? Well, there are many different options on campus, and so if you're looking for something in the lower end of the price range, generally we tell folks to look at the traditional halls in Beta Castor, or perhaps some suite style over in the Andros complex. Those will be Greek names that aren't Beta, and so you can look at all of this at usf.edu/housing. Click on resources or housing application, and then click hall rates, and you can look at the sheet with all the different hall rates for you. We have a question about what percentage of students live on campus in their first year, and so I don't have the exact number from this most recent year. What I can tell you is about 95%, sometimes 90% of all of our campus residents represent the first 2 years, freshman and sophomore classes living on campus. And so the overwhelming majority of first-year students live here on campus, and we're going to talk more about why that matters and why we see that happening here on the show. Can students coming in fall 2017 apply for housing that's being built right now? And that's talking about the Village. Yes, if you want to live in the Village over in Beacon Hall, you can apply to live on campus and choose that. The way it's going to work this year is a little bit different. We have something called room selection. For our incoming freshmen, there's going to be a time later this semester for all those who are eligible to participate. You'll actually log into the housing portal and pick your exact room. So you're not going to wait for a housing assignment from us. You'll choose your exact space on campus. And if you have potential roommates already and eligible to go, you can pull them in and put them in the room with you. As we'll have more information coming out your way on that very, very soon. When are the housing applications due? Never. There is no due date. But what I will tell you is that we always fill. Right now we're at 109% capacity. And so we are just bursting at the seams. And so if you want to be here on campus, you want to get all of your application materials done early. Go to usf.edu/housing. Click housing application, then first year students, and you'll see all the housing application steps. You can go complete those and then be ready for room selection when the time comes. And so when do the housing applications open? Right now, they've been open for a number of months. Go to our website and apply today. If you want to live in an LLC, you can do that too. That information's all on our website, so check it out. Also, if you want to be in the Honors LLC for our incoming honors students, that's going to be located in Summit Hall, which is over in the Village. So if you have more questions, keep sending them our way and we'll address those in real time for you. So Dr. Goodrich, who are you and what do you do here?
All right, yes, Dr. Goodrich. I'm the Senior Associate Athletics Director for External Affairs here at USF. And ultimately what I do is help create experiences for our student athletes and our fans when they come to see USF Sports Live.
And so what are the different athletics programs here on campus?
We have a tremendous number of sport programs, from your traditional football, baseball, basketball, to some of our more Olympic-style sports where we have golf, tennis, volleyball, and soccer.
All right, excellent. So much more than football. We always talk about
Much
football.
more. Football's fantastic, but we have a tremendous number of offerings.
And so I understand we actually have really good attendance at football games.
Yeah,
right?
Actually, our football attendance grew tremendously last year, and that helped because the football team did win 11 games, which was the most that any Division I team in the state of Florida won last year. So as the Bulls, we can be proud of that.
It's an excellent year, definitely, definitely. So thinking beyond football, though, we have so many programs you just shared. Can students attend those games? Can they be involved?
Absolutely. Full-time students who pay their student activity fee, which is a part of your tuition, can get free admission to all sports events, including football, men's and women's basketball, all of the big sports, and even some of the smaller sports. Absolutely, you can be there.
Excellent. Are there special programs or incentives available to involve those students?
Absolutely. We partner with student government. So, for example, at football games, you can come to the game. You can get a Bulls Blitz bus, which will take you right from campus right to the stadium. We have pregame tailgates that come with free food and free games and a tremendous amount of entertainment. So we keep you entertained pregame and throughout the game, and then bring you all the way back to your dorm room.
Awesome. Can you tell us about the impact of sport on the college experience for athletes and for students in general?
Yeah, the impact is tremendous. Speaking as a former student athlete, I understand the role that participating in sport can have on one person's life. We talked about living on campus as being a great way to make friends. Right. Well, participating in sport, whether that's intercollegiate varsity athletics or participating in rec sports, is a great way to make friends for life and learn a lot of values that you can take and apply in every part of your life.
Excellent. I got a live question here for you.
Okay.
Thomas would like to know, if we're interested in playing for a team, where do we go?
All right, so the best thing you would do is you go to gousfbulls.com and then go to the roster for all of our head coaches. So let's say, for example, you are interested in playing men's soccer. Identify the head coach. They'll have an email address. Send your contact information to that head coach, and I highly recommend that you include a video. In this day and age, coaches have the ability to break down video, and then they can get back in touch with you.
Excellent, thank you.
Yep.
I got one last question for you.
Certainly.
You were a college student once. Thinking back to those early days, what advice do you have for our incoming Bulls to help prepare them for this experience?
Participate. Participate. If you come to campus and you just stay in your room, you will not feel the full effect of being a college student. So I would say, as you shared earlier, there are so many different clubs and activities. Go be a part of them. And for me personally, I'd love to see you come out to some athletics events. It's a great way to make friends and just really have that full experience.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight.
You are very welcome.
And of course, we might have some more questions. If people have athletics questions, please send them our way. Dr. Goodrich is here with us till the end. But coming up next, we've got Sandiana Merville from Housing and Residential Education. But first, we've got a few videos. We're going to roll those. More show coming your way in just a moment.
Beta Hall and Castor Hall are our two traditional-style residence halls, each designed with 2 wings per floor. Castor houses approximately 360 residents, and Beta houses about 280. Both halls are co-ed and exclusive to first-year students. Beta and Castor are located in the Argos area and are very close to the Fresh Food Company Dining Hall and the Marshall Student Center. On the south side of Castor is the Castor Beach, which features white sands, hammocks for relaxing, and umbrellas to shade residents from the warm Florida sun. On the south side of Beta, there are volleyball and basketball courts, which residents can be seen enjoying day and night. Each wing shares a common bathroom, which is cleaned daily. There are also accessible bathrooms for those who need them. Laundry facilities are located on the first floor, where residents can pay with change or bullbucks to use the washers and dryers. Each floor has a kitchen where residents have access to a stove and oven. Study lounges are located on every floor. There are a number of common spaces throughout the buildings for residents to hang out and socialize. Beta and Castor feature mainly double occupancy rooms with 2 beds, desks, chairs, and dressers. Visit usf.edu/housing to learn more and apply to live on campus.
Hey, my name's Stephanie. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Jill. I live in Castor.
I live in Beta.
I'm a health sciences major and I love binge watching Netflix.
You binge watch Netflix? I binge watch Netflix. What's your favorite movie?
Okay, we'll say it at the same time.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Rocky! Oh! Let's be friends.
Okay.
Introduce yourself in the group. Meet other bulls and make friends. A stranger is just a friend you haven't met yet. Only strangers in the 2021 group are potential friends. Friendships are the responsibility of the individuals involved. Your experience may vary. Go Bulls.
All right, and we are back. So we've got some more live questions I want to address real quick. And so, Andrew, can you tell us, Champ would like to know, are there any sports at USF that aren't competitive, like free play?
Yeah, absolutely. I would invite you to go to the usf.edu website, check out Campus Rec. I'm sure there are a number of offerings there for intramural sports and opportunities for people to just get together and participate in sport.
Awesome, thank you. And actually, Sandy and I were just talking about that during the break. Quidditch came up. We have, I don't want to say what their record is, I just know that apparently they've done very, very well over the years. And so if you're into Quidditch, USF has an excellent Quidditch team. And so I don't think there's a D1 play for that, but you never know.
Not yet.
Not yet. We'll give it time. And so next up, we're going to talk with Sandiana Merville. Sandiana, welcome. And tell us, who are you and what do you do here?
Well, I am a recent alumna of USF. I graduated in December with a degree in literary studies. And
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. And a degree in theater performance. Right now, I'm working at the Department of Information Technology as an administrative assistant. I just got cast into the spring musical at USF Theater, and I am applying for musical theater master's programs.
Excellent, excellent. And so I have to mention everyone watching. So for those of you who are new here, Sandiana's new to you, but you have been involved with so many different things in the housing department. So in working here, what roles have you taken on?
If there is a job in housing, I probably have held that position. I started as a freshman in my Hal Council, working as a mayor, and then I transitioned to become the director of finance for the Residence Hall Association. After that, I became a residential outreach communication specialist here at the main housing office. Then I became a mail clerk, a desk clerk, ultimately a resident assistant, and I worked to housing all the way up to graduation.
Excellent. So just a few things.
A few, a couple.
So can you share with us, outside of the work role, because you lived here on campus.
Yes, I did.
What did you gain from that experience?
I gained so much from living on campus. I think the most important thing that I learned living on campus was to be independent and to be able to motivate myself, to be able to complete my work on my own. My parents weren't there to tell me to get my homework done. I was able to meet so many interesting people from all over the world, and getting along with all those different people helped me to learn leadership skills, transitioned into professional positions. I loved it.
And so the work experience here too, that helped you get ready for the big world after graduation?
It definitely did. Working in the housing department and all the different positions gave me the professional experience with timeliness, efficiency, being a reliable worker. All of that helped build a foundation for me so that I could find jobs in professional positions like the one that I'm working in the IT department right now.
Excellent. So let's think back many years back, not too many years, to your
Okay.
freshman years. What was the biggest shock for you when you think of what your expectations of what college would be like and the reality?
Okay. During my time as a freshman, I remember being afraid. I remember thinking it might be difficult for me to make friends. I might not fit in. What if there's not people who appreciate my type of personality? Well, when I came to USF, I found that it was the complete opposite. Everyone was super warm and welcoming. There are hundreds of organizations on campus, and I was able to go to so many different organizations with whether they be cultural or academic. Anything you can think of, there is an organization at USF for that. And so going to all these organizations and meeting all the different kinds of people, they were also warm and welcoming, even if I didn't care about the topic, or even if I wasn't part of the cultural group, they invited me and I loved it.
Alex, I got one last question for you.
Yeah.
We have just a minute left here. But how can families support their students when they come here to college?
I think the most important thing for families to do to support students is to be supportive, is just to have a listening ear, to be there for them, because freshman year can be a difficult transition with learning, with taking on new responsibilities, living on your own, working on college work versus high school work. There's a lot of different difficulties that they might encounter, and having a supportive family base to give them a strong foundation of people who support them is so important.
Excellent. Well, thank you. That's excellent advice. And I hope our incoming students and their families will take that. Thank you so much for coming on the program with us.
Thank you very much.
We'll get you back too. And so we have a little more show coming your way, but first, we've got a couple videos produced by our all-student crew for you. More Housing Live right after this.
My name is Holden Tracy, and I'm the Vice President of the Residence Hall Association. I've been the Vice President, we were sworn in May. RHA is a representative body of the students living on campus. So we do both like representing the students in matters of like dining and residential concerns and things like that, as well as providing an avenue for leadership opportunities and purposeful programming to teach important values or assist residents with aspects of their lives. It's been fantastic. You know, I think probably one of my favorite aspects is just seeing all the residents and seeing what the hall councils have been doing and what they've been putting on for their residents. It's just amazing to see these people. A lot of them are first years. They come in, they want to get involved, and they step up, and suddenly they're taking these leadership positions, and it's just really rewarding to be able to facilitate that. So it's just stuff like that, just the little things that, you know, residents can come out and interact socially with their other residents, as well as, you know, accomplish something or learn something. Oh, well, to begin with, it's a fantastic way to make friends. I mean, you kind of build a family with your hall council, because you're seeing them every week, you're seeing them, you know, in the dining hall, you're seeing them in your hall even. And then it offers a fantastic, like, jump start for leadership. Go Bulls!
Imagine a residential experience designed to support your success as a student. Imagine living seconds away from your classes, surrounded by beautiful scenery, like-minded peers, and exciting events. National research shows that students who live on campus tend to graduate at higher rates and sooner than those who don't. With USF Housing and Residential Education, you don't have to imagine. Apply today. Imagine a job where work feels more like fun, where you can enrich the lives of residents and be closely involved with the USF community. A job that allows you to build your skill set and learn every day. Imagine working with a department that staffs over 300 student employees. With USF Housing and Residential Education, you don't have to imagine. Imagine living in a place where learning is an everyday activity, where academic resources are abundant and your peers motivate you to do your best work. Imagine living in a community of like-minded individuals that work to support one another. Imagine finding home in a living, learning community. With USF Housing and Residential Education, you don't have to imagine. Apply today.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening. My name is Gregory Bowers with Housing and Residential Education. We are the best place to live, the best place to work, and the best place to learn. I've seen more questions coming in. I want you to know, go back, watch from the beginning. A lot of those questions have already been addressed. We're going to be back here for you on Monday, February 13th at 6 p.m. Join us for the full half hour. We'll have more incredible guests. We'll have more videos produced by our all-student crew for you. We are so excited to tell you more about the University of South Florida and the residential experience here. But there is just one last thing. Go Bulls!